What is going on, guys? Welcome back. We're going to have quite a discussion this morning. The recap for this stream is already up on my website if you want to go watch it. There's also some reactions to, well, kind of a new Girl World content creator that you might find interesting if you want to go sign up. As far as what's going on with Chantal, though, I think a lot of people will eventually talk about this stream. It seems that Chantal is very much at a crossroads when it comes to her content. And part of that crossroads is whether or not you believe content like this even needs to be on the platform. I mean, let's be fair. Chantal is coming online, barely able to construct sentences, leaving for prolonged periods of time, blatantly lying to her audience. At one part last night, she was clearly eating, and the chat asks her, "What are you having? What are you eating?" And she lies to them and says, "I'm not eating," when it was apparent to anyone, even without the screen being on, that she was eating something. It gives you the impression that she's aware, hey, look, this just happened with Amber. This is going on in my community. Let me see if I can taunt them. I know they're reviewing my channel. Let me make things look as bad as possible. And to that point, there are going to be people, probably in this comment section, that tell me, you're an idiot. You don't understand. This is all performative. This is all just her trying to get Salah's attention and get back to Syria. Well, let me just say, if you followed Chantal for any amount of time, you know one thing she is not good at is being an actor or an actress. So I don't believe that she's able to keep up this performance consistently enough to go 20, 30, 40 minutes, much less an hour and a half. But what I will tell you is, cognitively, she is fully aware of what she's doing, because if you watch the live chat, you'll understand that she is simply hand picking messages, cherry picking, if you will, that make her seem like she's in a bad position, make her seem like she needs help. So she's going through and ignoring all these people genuinely being positive for the sake of going through and reading people's genuine concerns. And I think that played right into the title last night of, hey, no complaints. She essentially understands that her audience is going to complain about the content she's making because of the state she's appearing online. And that's kind of more of the crossroads, right? She's at this state of what she has to do versus what she wants to do. Okay, we all deal with this. Everyone has to get up and go to work or find a way to make an income to do what they want to do. So the trade off is, I'm going to go to this job 40 hours a week. In return, I'm going to have my home, I'm going to have my car, I'm going to be able to go to this concert or this sporting event or buy this TV that I want, whatever the case may be. Chantal is very much aware of this as well. The problem is the dynamic between coming online and what she wants to do has very much changed. Okay, when she was in Kuwait, when she was in Syria, she had a lot of natural excuses. Hey, I can't go drive here. I don't have my license. Hey, Salah has the truck today. I can't go out. Hey, this is a dangerous location. I can't just up and leave. So sitting around and doing nothing was almost inherent to that area. But now that she's back in Canada, the expectation was that she would go out and do these things. The procrastination of this is just for tonight has really kind of been the undertone since she's came back. I mean, let's be honest, the fall content, the hay rides, the exhibits, the bus trips. Other than Pete's coming down and her aunt taking her out to the park, everything else has been an afterthought. Those are really the only things that kind of made her happy or made her want to make content. This repeated theme of I'm tired has kind of morphed right back into the old standby of, hey, leave if you want. Just as the title again implies, if you're here for anything other than to tell me how great this is, you're only making it worse. And the audience, I don't think, wants to be told that. I don't think the audience as a whole wants to be kind of reprimanded by the creator for making their life worse when in fact they've really made her life so much better. They give her the ability financially to come online and do this. They, through their donations, basically paid for her to get back to Canada. And the reward for them has literally been sitting around watching her in this daze, if you will, and then being told that everything is either their fault if they're bringing it up and trying to encourage her to do better, or of course, they can just leave even if they donated in the past because she doesn't want anything but, positivity in her chat, despite, as I mentioned, only reading the negative comments. Now, there's also one thing Chantal knows she has to do in order to generate a talking point. And let's be fair, if you look out at the space, there's a lot of talking points that Chantal has kind of been pushed to the side for. First of all, what's going on with Amber Lynn? It's probably why people would be looking at her channel to begin with. Secondly, is what's going on with FFG. And third, truthfully, is people are just starting to transition over to Rosie. Now, there's a lot of things that Rosie does that Chantal used to do, but the first of which is come online in a state where you can actually cover someone. You can say, hey, this is what the person did when they came online. This is the interactions they had. This is the day they talked about. This is what they were doing. That's far different than the state that Chantal is coming online and basically saying, well, today I sat around, ordered snacks, watched TV. What did you guys do? Chantal, for the longest time, has used her chat as a crutch to get through her streams, and this goes right back to when she was in Syria, when she was in Kuwait. There wasn't a lot she could do, so she slowly became dependent on the chat. She's even said as much. She said the other day that she forgot how to bees. Beesing is something Chantal created. The whole concept was something that she dreamed up and turned into a community. So when she's telling you, hey, I don't know how to do this or I forgot how this works, what she's saying is I've completely lost my way on this. And I guess either I start over or just continue to have the remains of what was at one point a thriving community just show up to sit here and hold my hand while I get through whatever I'm trying to get through. The promise to make better content has always been there. The only difference is now she's seemingly aware how bad this is, and she's telling you, hey, you don't have the right to complain about it because, well, you can just go watch something else. The last thing I want to talk about in regards to that drama, she has said for probably 2 of the last 5 live streams that someone is emailing her, and she at times can't tell us who it is. Other times she sits there and says, you won't believe who emailed me. And yeah, she's also came right out and said, my ex. Now, what's interesting about that whole concept is if I believe that happened, she would be the first one to hold up the phone and say, look, he emailed me. He also has been online himself, although not on this platform, and has yet to even really mention communication with Chantal. It seems that he's with his last partner, and they really have openly talked about not wanting much to do with Chantal, of course, other than trying to make monetary gain by rehashing the past, which I would say seems further and further interesting to most people in this community. People, in some cases, don't know who he is. In other cases, people don't care. And in most cases, people just don't want to talk about him. So much has happened in the last 4 years that is much more relevant to what's going on now. Him being in the equation doesn't make a lot of sense from her standpoint or from his standpoint. Even him trying to use her as leverage to become relevant within the community doesn't work because, well, as I said, he's been streaming off the platform and you've probably only heard 1 or 2 creators talk about it, this video included. So I don't even know why we're going there. Chantal, your community is literally begging you. It's almost like they are trying to come to you with a final request to change before they leave. You've already seen enough people leave voluntarily or leave at your request. As I started this video with, you are literally at a crossroads. You are either going to destroy your channel willfully by coming online in this condition, or you are going to have YouTube do that for you. Because ultimately, as I said in the beginning as well, it seems like your desire is to taunt them. But we know no matter what, whether you end up streaming to 30 people with a tear in your eye, or no longer able to make income that sustains your living on this platform, it is always going to be someone else's fault other than your own, although everyone is giving you the warning signs right now of what needs to change. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. Be back as soon as I can with more commentary.